You're live. $27.70 on my count. Well, nobody coming in, eh? It is what it is. Alright, ain't much on here.
Hey folks, how you doing?
There's me.
Turn on some lights.
Oh. Well, I reckon I'll end this thing. Oh, JT came in just as I was about to exit out. What's up with you? I done gave up on anybody coming in. Been about 4 minutes. Thank you for the like. But what's going on in your world? I done parked up in mine. Uh-oh, out of Kleenex too. We got more in the back. Packing up and heading to Oregon. Well, where you at now? Let me guess, California. Hope you got your South Utah. Damn, dude, you gonna give up Utah for Oregon? Hope you got a hell of a job lined up. been looking at some trucks, pickups, no big truck. Yeah, the better running lanes is true. JJ, what up? Especially if you got your wiggle wagon license. They got a lot of wiggle wagons up that way. What up, Bradley? Ralph, howdy, 03, Kelly. Tried calling you the other day, Kelly. You wouldn't answer your phone. You hurt my feelings. I had to go to my safe place and get my Crayolas and color on my little cuddly bear. And if I'd had ice cream, I'd ate that too, and Grandma would come and whoop your ass. Bad Kelly. Well, that's all right. They do wiggle wagon vans. It don't matter. Those are good lanes you're talking about. They can get a little bit hairy in the wintertime. You have to throw a lot of chains. The kind of company you're talking about driving for, they require that. You're South Carolina? Well, good for you. I'm in Oklahoma. Yeah, what's up? Yeah, well, you caught me, you lucky rascal. Okay, you own your own truck? That's a good deal. No, and I ain't ready for one yet. See, Hill, what's up? I'm just educating myself on what's out there, what kind of prices they are, and what I want. I got to figure out exactly what I want. I can have it? No, thank you. What up, Mick? Now, why are you on Mick's device? You was over there drinking a damn beer and you heard it ping, didn't you? And you just couldn't resist the chick magnet. Didn't know you Australians were sissies, too. Mick ain't wired backwards, is he? Careful, Mick. Actually, I've looked at a few Chevys, Kelly, but I'm wanting a 1 ton or bigger. I'm thinking about a 5500, actually. And you tell me, Kelly, is the 45 a ton and a half and the 55 is 2 ton? Is that correct? And don't guess, damn it. If you don't know, old man, say you don't know. I hear you, Blue. What up, see? On your 4th day, well, good for you. Oh, Stone's on his 3rd day of being a solo driver and doing flatbeds. He's getting the education. He's handling it, but he's getting the education. Yeah, some people are stupid, Ralph. Well, the 35 is a 1 ton. The 15 is a half ton. The 25 is a 3/4 ton. The 35 is a 1 ton. But I ain't sure about the 45 and 55. Okay, yeah, Blue's saying the same thing. 45 is a ton and a half, 55 is a deuce. Well, I'm glad to hear they was a help to you. I assume you've been back there in the playlist and you found the trucker playlist. There's a little bit of information. I think I've got a half a dozen videos. Well, we all did, see, hell. We all was BS. BS just means bullshit. And we was all bullshit. And this YouTube was starting to control my life. Yeah, I've seen some of your comments, Warwick. A little bit different over here, ain't it? No, we don't have it anymore, Matthew, and welcome to a live stream. I ain't doing too many of these. I'm trying to get control of my life. Folks, look, it's real simple. I'd drive my ass off all day long, and I would rush my meals and everything else so I could get on here and do a live stream. And I'd do a couple hours, 1, 2, or 3 hours live stream. I'd go to bed, get up, and do it all over again. I was losing all of my time. And now I'm reclaiming some of my time, that's all. And these live streams were turning into BS sessions. We just bullshitted. You guys would pick at each other, which was cool. But my whole point is where did my time go? Surely y'all can understand that. Y'all want your time. Where did my time go? I wasn't having time to do any of my research online. I didn't have time to do anything except live streams. And then I went to bed. So, you know, if me claiming some of my time back for me hurts anybody's feelings, oh well, sorry. I was living for the live streams and for the YouTube. It got old. Period. It got old. So, it is what it is. If y'all haven't never been as dedicated to something as I was this channel, then you don't know how much it takes over your life. Hell, I'd even start doing them at home on my weekends. My weekends is for grandma. And I was doing live streams at home. Really? Now it's really interfering with my personal life with grandma? That ain't right. I had to get it back under control. Alright, Blue, take it easy. Well, no, Kelly, I'm thinking about what it can haul. And I ain't gonna do no hot shot stuff. Yeah, see, that's who another one of my subscribers is with, the CFI. And he went to school with them and all that. He's been with them about 2.5 years. On the most part, he's happy with them. He does have to deal with typical trucking stuff once in a while that you're going to have to deal with any company. This is trucking. It ain't fun, it's work. You know, if it was fun, we'd call it playing. What up, Brian? What up, son? No, buddy, I done ran out my 14-hour clock. I did good to make it to the yard. Got here, dropped and hooked, got my new wagon on, fueled up, did my post trip. And I parked with just a few minutes left on my 14th. So about 7 o'clock in the morning, I take off. Stone, what up? All right, Kelly, I missed you on the call, bro. I was just talking about you a while ago, Stone. Told him you're the big sissy whining and crying about your new job. That is correct. New me, I guess that's what it's going to be. Thank you, see, that's what I seen, saying. And yes, it was getting draining. You know, it was getting very draining. It was beating me up. I ain't gonna lie, it was beating me up. So now what I'm gonna do is real simple. You know, I'll still do a few of my cooking videos whenever it's something decent, you know. If there's anything exciting around the house, of course I'm gonna do it. If I have something to say, I'll make a video like I did the other night. And every blue moon, I'll pop in here and do a live stream. But I'm not going to let it take control of my life again. You know. That's Warwick, Stone. That Mick Green. Now you got 2 Australians to pick on you, buddy boy. You got to watch Mick. He gets sharp tongued. Later, Hill. Well, that's a good deal. I'm glad you got a lot of blah, 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 blah. A good laugh out of it. 3 minutes to spare. Good deal. You'll get it after a while. It shouldn't take you more than 4 or 5 years, Stone, and you'll have it figured out. Now you see why I told you to go do flatbed before you went to oversize? When it gets frustrating, just think about that oversize. All right, son. Good night. God bless. Night, Crystal. Well, all right. Who was that? See? All right, it's not that complicated, okay? Now, whenever you clock on of a morning, whenever you start your pre-trip should be the first thing that you do. From that point, you have 14 hours that you can work. All right, during that 14 hours, you can only drive 11. Now, it don't matter how you break it up in that 14, but you drive 11 inside of that 14. Now, by the time you're 8 hours, you started here, by the time your 8 hours come up, you have to get a 30-minute break. You're big enough to drive this truck, but you're not big enough to know you need a nap. So just like kindergarten, get your 30-minute break in. Once you get your 30-minute break, you can continue on your 14 hours. Do not drive more than 11 in that 14-hour period. Your 34 that you mentioned. A 34 is you've worked all week, and let's say during these 14 hours over a course of 5 days, you burn up 60 hours. You stop and park and you take a straight 34 hours off. Now you have 0. Well, right here when you started your 34, you had used up 60 hours. Take your 34. At the end of 34, you now have 0 hours. You're starting all over again. Then you do it all over again and work up to not over 70 hours. Does that help? Nice, sweetheart. Well, that ain't bad, Stone. If you can stay there with them and catch on to the flatbedding and then do a little oversize with them, because you're already seeing they're good at teaching. If they're good teachers and you're a good learner. Daniel, what's up? It ain't a tip, new maid. That ain't a tip. That's just how the hours work. Yeah. I could go into more, but that's the basics of how they work. Now, you know how that 70 hours accumulates, right? But when you do that pre-trip of a morning, let's say 15 minutes. That 15 minutes is on duty. That comes off that 70. Now you drive 8 hours. That makes you 8 hours and 15 minutes you used up on that 70. You stop and fuel. You're supposed to do that on duty. That's 15 minutes. So now that's 8.5 hours. See where I'm going with this? Now you drive another 3 hours. That's 11.5 hours. You know, regardless of what you're doing on duty during that 14 hours, do your pre-trip, your fuel, dock duties. Say you burn up an hour during the day doing different stuff. All right, you can still drive 11 as long as you don't exceed that 14. And now you burned up 12 hours. You only drove 11, but you used up 12 hours of your 70. Exactly, Stone. See, and he's talking about he sat around too much today. So he was on duty 5.5, drove 4, so he's got an hour and a half of tarping time and all that stuff. And he ran out of time. Well, it would hurt you with that employer where they would just say, and they heard somebody say they went 15 minutes over. Well, yeah, you get penalized for that with your company. Now, if the DOT comes into the office and audits the records and they find it, they're going to give him a little check, a slap on the hand. It won't be nothing drastic at all. But that does not pass on to other employers. Yeah, I went over right here with this company. Well, when I go to get another job and they inquire about my driving, they're not going to tell him, oh, well, he drove for 3.5 years, but he went over on his 14 twice. They don't do that shit. They can't do that. All they can do is verify that you was a driver for them. They can verify you did not refuse or fail a drug test, you know, and are you rehireable? And I ain't even sure they allow them to ask that anymore. They used to. Who is the joke, Brian? That Chase and Andrew? I don't know him. What up, Bobby? You've been hiding. I ain't seen you. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I've been hiding. Actually, it took longer than an hour, Warwick. And that's what I told him. It's his second load, basically. Third load hauling, second load he's picked up and had to secure and tarp. Hell, if this shit was easy where you didn't take time to learn it, everybody'd be doing it. Basically, JJ. Now, technically, at the end of that 14, if you're like Stone, okay, let's say Stone got to a shipper, and he got there, and his 14-hour clock ran out on him, but he still got his tarping and securement to do. That's supposed to be done on the clock, and his company tells him to do it on the clock. His 14 ran out. Well, you can still continue to work past that 14 on duty. You just can't drive. So let's say it took him 2 hours to do his load. Well, that puts him at 16 hours today. He's not in trouble. He didn't break no laws, no violations, as long as he don't drive. So, technically you can't go past your 14. Oh, yeah, it happened to you, Stone. As tight as you are, being you're such a slow damn driver, cutting them appointments so tight, yeah, sooner or later it'll get you. Almost got you today, didn't it? Tell the truth. And yes, I pick at him, folks. He can handle it. He's a big boy. Some of the people on his Facebook page think I pick on him too hard, I think. I think they baby him too much. And I pulled in here backwards from everybody else. Truck running over here, I'd barely hear it. I could block it out of my hearing. Where if I was sitting up there, my window would be right by him. So I just pulled in here backwards. I'll have to back out in the morning. Unless somebody wants to come back it out for me. Backwood, what up? Overall, I've been doing okay, Backwood. I've been reclaiming a little bit of my evening time for me. Oh yeah, Stone's been on my channel a couple years. He's on here over a year before he got his CDLs. If I didn't pick on him, he'd think I was mad at him. That's too true there, Stone. He said them loads have got him grabbing his blanket and pillow. He told me a while ago that I just happened to call just as he got done with the one yesterday and today. Hot and sweaty and frustrated, and I called and started harassing him. That's good for him. What up, one account? Sitting here watching traffic over yonder. It ain't very heavy where I'm at. All right, Stone, take it easy. He'll learn. He's a good young man. He'll learn. And he likes learning anyway. I won't be too terribly far behind everybody. Yeah, I've been off over an hour. See, this evening I got parked up. Went in and got me a nasty dinner. Talked to Grandma just a little bit. And didn't get in a hurry to get on here, where before I was always getting in a panic, trying to get on here before it got too late. I gotta undo this belt, it's killing me. Oh, I feel so much gooder. Ow. That rascal was cutting into my belly. Well, if y'all didn't notice the last few live streams, I was starting to get a little ill-tempered. And there ain't no need for that. I do not recommend ramps at all. The only time I'd tell you to do a ramp was in an emergency. And you should be planning your trip better than that. And I know you can't start at 6 o'clock in the morning and know where you're going to end up. It just don't work that way. It sounds good on paper. So you have to be ready to change your pre-trip constantly. Just like Stone. He didn't know where he was going to end up today. He got about 30 minutes away from where he loaded. And that's what you need to do. You need to adapt over and find a truck stop or rest area, either one of them. If you're carrying food and water with you, a rest area is great. And you damn sure need to be carrying food and water with you. Well, parking on ramps, some states they'll ticket you, but, and it ain't gonna be a cheap ticket. Then you have to always worry about somebody running in the rear end of you, like just happened in California, and killed 3 people in the car. Now, it was the car's fault, but that driver still has to deal with that the rest of his life. I don't know if they're charging him or not. The first one I heard of a few months ago, they said that guy, they wasn't charging him because he'd ran out of hours. He had to stop. That was the best place he could stop. But that's something you have to live with. That's my biggest fear out here, is some kind of something happening where someone dies, and it don't matter if it's my fault or not. If I'm involved in it, I have to deal with it. And that's going to be pretty hard on some people. So no, I don't do ramps. I've been out here 30 years, almost 30 years, not quite. And I think maybe twice have I ever slept on a ramp. I don't like it. I can't sleep comfortable there. And when you're parked up, I put my head behind the driver's seat, so I hear all the traffic going by all night long. And yeah, that you get where it don't wake you up, but you hear it. Just like when you're parked up here. If I was reversed, I'd hear somebody backing in to park beside me. You should be aware of what's going on around you, even in your sleep. Oh, that ain't your first one. Tell the truth, Warwick. Yeah, sleeping on ramps ain't good. Well, it depends upon where you're at, JJ. For those that are listening, and that was something else. I had people tell me these live streams sound like a one-sided conversation, listening to a phone call. You just hear one side. But JJ was asking, he said, I got a question. If you get stopped and are found overweight, how do you fix that right away? Do they have the authority to remove some of your load, or do they just ticket you and let you go? Well, it depends upon the situation, JJ. If you've got a trailer like mine, a regular trailer that you can slide tandems on, maybe you can slide your tandems and fix the problem. Some states, like Georgia, they used to let you do that. And nowadays they'll tell you if you want to get up in your trailer and move the freight by hand and fix the problem, we won't ticket you. And I say, give me the ticket. So it all depends upon where you're at. No, they do not have the authority to move any of your freight. That's stealing. They can't do that. However, they can make you get it if you're over gross. They can make you bring in another truck and somehow y'all get some of your freight onto that little truck. Then that little truck goes with you. So it all depends upon the situation. Best way to handle that is make sure you're legal. And Stone just dealt with that problem with that flatbed today. He got loaded, got it secured and tarped, went and hit a CAT scale and found out he was overweight. He had to turn around, go back to the shipper, barely caught him, but they fixed the problem. Then he went and weighed out and it was correct. So that's your best thing. But a CAT scale ain't always close by. Yeah, if you can make it on the ramp. William's saying if you're having an emergency on the highway, try to hit a ramp. That is correct. If you can't hit the ramp, get over as far as you dare. But all that stuff's dangerous. That's why it's against the law, folks. Most states, it's against the law to park on a ramp. You see the signs, no parking. You know, you see the signs on the side of the road. No parking, shoulder for emergencies only and all that. They don't do that to be mean to truck drivers. They do it because it's dangerous. Oh, me, oh my. Got one of the casinos over here with their flashing sign that's always changing. I keep watching it. Can't help it. It's just right there. Can't read most of what it says. Well, I don't know what Anzac Day is, but have a beer for me too then. Oh, I run Oklahoma and Texas mostly. You can throw in a little bit of Arkansas and Louisiana once in a while. This load I just picked up, I'll pick it up here in Oklahoma at our yard. I'll go to Arkansas and then Texas. Then come back to Oklahoma. We'll see what I get knocked out tomorrow. Well, they're taking the forklift to his load. He was offloading part of it. But that doesn't go to the DOT or anything else. That's up to him and the shipper to figure out what they're going to do with the extra trees and stuff. But yeah, if you're bad enough overweight, they'll make you take part of your load off. Well, actually, they'll just tell you, you ain't moving. Park around back, and you ain't moving. You got to do something. So it's up to the driver and the company and the broker and the shipper. They all got to put their heads together and figure out what to do. And never trust a mom and pop scale. There's companies out here you load and they'll let you scale. Majority of them will only give you your gross weight. They won't let you actual out. And that's good to give you an idea. After that, I go hit a cat scale. Any kind of certified scale, but preferably a cat scale. Well, it's a good deal there, Warwick. It's always good to remember our heroes. And all of our warriors are heroes in my book. Oh, me, oh my. Well, folks, it's after 10 o'clock. I'm going to sign off this rascal. I appreciate y'all coming in. Don't know when I'll do another live stream. Watch for me. You know, and it ain't a big deal to me. I'm just reclaiming part of my life, folks. Instead of dedicating, eating, breathing, sleeping YouTube, I'm getting some of it back for me. So, what up, Anthony? You came in just as I was saying goodbye. But with that, folks, remember, God loves you, and so do I. Now, Anthony, you got a live stream you can watch, buddy. Good night, everybody.